Adam Schefter is brought to you by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank. Visit ccu.org to learn more. Adam, just want to let you know, Scott started a new foundation if you're looking for some charitable money to give to. It's called Love a Scrub. Scott, why don't you tell Adam what the genesis of Love a Scrub is and who it benefits?
Well, Dmac thinks it's fun to just pick on guys that, don't have numbers. They sit at the end of the bench, and he just pretty much hammers them like they're still not better than 99% of the world. But,
I don't think
he
like
makes
that.
fun of them because they don't play much and
Right.
stuff like that. And Ty and I both being former scrubs, we like to think that, we want to start a foundation called Love a Scrub.
Yeah.
Love a Scrub.
But like, hold on. I really would never call you guys scrubs. Tyler, in your greatest year, what was the highest salary you made from the Denver Broncos?
Thank you. Adam goes right to money.
Hold on.
How much? Not as much as you think. What would you guess? And it was in Washington, not in Denver.
Okay, $3-4 million a year.
Nope. 2.
Okay.
It was healthy.
Oh, Adam is looking down his nose at $2 million a year.
I didn't get that Schefter money now. Yeah.
Please, you're talking about a newspaper guy here, okay? What are we talking about? Come on.
You need to chill out on that, man. You've reached. We don't talk about it, but we're very proud of what you're doing. Ain't no doubt about that. But you're a good guy. Are you at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Well, we can't tell. You're just as a building. What's the vibe?
Yeah.
What's the vibe in New Orleans? Talk to us. What's going on there?
You know what New Orleans is like. New Orleans is a crazy place, and it's pretty crazy already. Lots of people coming into town. This is when the town starts really filling up and getting really busy. I've been here since Sunday night. It's a long time to be in New Orleans.
Yeah. Hey, but your voice has dropped 4 octaves.
He's got that Sean Payton voice going on. Yeah.
Well, I'm also in a room here, like around a bunch of people. So I'm trying to be a little bit more respectful, which contrasts to me when I'm doing this with you guys at home. When I walk out, my wife looks at me and she goes, all annoyed, you talk really loud.
I get that all the time. Trust me.
What do you want? It's my job. Like I'm just talking, right? Like that's the way it is.
Does Sean Payton have to buy a meal in New Orleans? Is he?
I saw Sean this morning. I saw him this morning. He was leaving his residence. I was visiting somebody right nearby. I was standing in the lobby of this building, and he was walking out, and we chatted for a bit this morning.
How's he doing? Well, what's new?
He was going to play golf. He looked good. He looked very happy. Yeah, he was very happy. This is his city.
Anything?
It is his city.
Is he the king of New Orleans?
I mean, I would think him and Drew Brees probably never have to buy a meal here ever, right?
Right.
That'd be my guess.
Right.
And Peyton Manning. Any of the Mannings and Sean Payton, Drew Brees.
Have you seen the Mannings? Are they hanging around there?
They gotta be.
I know where they're having dinner tonight because we went to this Rayos pop-up on Tuesday night, and I know the Mannings have 40 people going in there tonight, but they also have the NFL Honors Program, when we'll find out whether or not Eli Manning goes into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which he knows already. We just don't know. And I asked Peyton about that on my podcast this week, and Peyton was, very good about it. Eli doesn't say much of anything to anybody anyway.
What's the argument for Eli in? What's the argument for Eli out?
Eli out, pretty simple. 4 Pro Bowls, which 4 Pro Bowls is a great career. It's not by a scrub or anything like that, but it's
love a scrub.
You love a scrub. It's not love a scrub, but 4 Pro Bowls is not what John Elway did. On the other hand, you have a guy that I think he's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP that prevented the Patriots from achieving a 19-0 season, that played his best when the stakes were highest. Led the Giants on a wild card run on the road to the Super Bowl, came through in the clutch. To me, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know that he's going to get on the first ballot, but he'll get into Canton eventually. It's just a question whether it's going to be tonight.
Yeah, you got to think legacy is written by Super Bowls, not by win-loss record.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, though, that if he doesn't get on this ballot, And I know they're brothers and they bust each other's humps and all that stuff. But don't you think that Peyton's just going to be merciless
Yeah.
on him next year during the Manning cast?
Yeah. Well, look, I was a voter briefly for about 4 or 5 years, and I always remember that there were people on there that I used to listen to, and they always would say, can you write football history without this person? And if the answer was no, then they were not a Hall of Famer. Or, can you write football history without him? Yes. Then they're not. No, then they're in. You can't write football history without Eli Manning. So he's in my mind. But I don't know whether he's going to get in tonight. We'll see.
Okay. Other awards tonight. Patrick Surtain, is he going to win Defensive Player of the Year?
I would think him and Myles Garrett are the two obvious choices. Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks. Don't know how it's going to come out. But I think Surtain's got a lot of support, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Can you write the NFL history without Mike Shanahan?
No.
Why isn't he in there?
Wasn't his turn.
Scott,
waiting for like 4 or 5 years.
You're going to get me started. It's the most ridiculous oversight. It pisses me off to this day that we've got people that control the fates of these individuals. Like Mike Shanahan is a Hall of Famer. He's just not in yet, and he's going to get in. So we're going to deny him. Let's make him wait like we made Ken Stabler wait till after he was gone. And then you put him in after he's gone. He can't enjoy it. Like that makes a lot of sense. Like what changed from the time Ken Stabler played his last down or when he was eligible to the time he was actually inducted 25, 30. Like, honestly, sometimes I don't understand the politics. There's a process. I got it. It's ridiculous sometimes. It's moronic. Let's make Robert Kraft wait. Like, let's make Robert Kraft wait. That's great. Let's keep making him wait. Let's make Mike Shanahan wait. That's great.
Apparently this year it's Mike Holmgren's turn.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
again, and let me say this. Mike Holmgren is a great coach. Great coach.
But
Mike Shanahan belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened when they played in the Super Bowl? Mike Shanahan and Mike Holmgren. What happened? Remind me.
The helicopter.
Yeah. Okay. And
all right. All right. As long as we're talking about it, then why Mike Holmgren this year, Adam, instead of Mike Shanahan? Why?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why.
Okay.
Because it's a highly politicized process, and Mike Holmgren had a powerful voter who presented a persuasive argument in Mike Sando. Present him and did an incredible job, and that helped his cause. And I was not in the room, but that's, listen, I've been in that room. I know what it's like, and I know that when there's a certain member that makes a very persuasive argument, I'll say, well, I'm not going to go there, but
are you suggesting the argument wasn't strong enough for Mike? I mean, is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't want to belittle the person who presented Mike in any way, shape, or form. I don't believe that. I think it would be Jeff Legwold, right? And Jeff does a great job.
Yeah. I mean,
Jeff does a great job.
Look at how many other Broncos Jeff has advocated for that have gotten in recently. It's been actually unbelievable.
He does a great job.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I think that whatever Mike Sando did and said this year made a difference. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
It pushed Holmgren in over the top. That's all.
Should it be a more objective sort of thing, not subjective? Should there be just a different standard that automatically gets you in?
I don't know how you do that.
Two Super Bowls.
How do you
Two Super Bowls as a head coach. Two Super Bowls. Two Super Bowls as starting quarterback. I mean, aren't there definable legacy metrics?
Not always. Like in my mind, I don't know if he'll ever make it, but in my mind, Phillip Rivers should be a Hall of Famer. And yet
he'll make it.
And yet he hasn't even sniffed something like that.
All right.
Is he eligible? He's not eligible. Not eligible.
No. I wasn't saying sniff the Hall of Fame. I'm saying sniff the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, but you know what? Dan Marino didn't win a Super Bowl. He went to one Super Bowl.
No, I understand. But wouldn't it be fair that there are some metrics that if you hit, it's automatic, but they don't have to be the only metrics? Like there'd be another.
Nah, I think that's a tough thing. It's you know what it is. It's the eye test. It's like you see it, you know it. And again, I come back to that question: can you write football history without this person? Yes or no? Can you?
Well, we talked.
Mike Shanahan revolutionized the way offenses are run. His offense is spread down. They're running the NFL to this day, modern versions of it. He created his own coaching tree that nobody saw coming that now includes Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris, Mike McDaniel. Like, we go on and on. That's the Mike Shanahan coach. Who's on Mike Holmgren's coaching tree? And again, Mike Holmgren's a great coach, and he's worthy of the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying Mike Shanahan should have been in.
Hey, we talked about this the other day, and I brought this up, and then I actually looked this up. We do heavily put a person's legacy in the NFL on Super Bowl wins, right? I mean, whether it's fair or not.
Yeah.
And when we have arguments of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, and you already see that, all the Super Bowl trophies and stuff like that. And we forget about guys that are in an argument. You mentioned Dan Marino a while ago. Played and won. He also, in his second year in the league, and people got to forget this. This was like 84. He threw for over 5,000 yards and 48 touchdowns in 1984 when it was run first, run second, run third, and hope he picked up a first down.
Right.
And he's throwing for 5,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, and like 8 picks. I mean, it was some stupid number. And yet no one, I think, talks about Dan Marino anymore because he just didn't ever win a Super Bowl.
And he's incredible. I mean, he was probably the best thrower of the football that I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was the best passer. Doesn't mean he's the best quarterback, but he was the best passer. The quickest, most natural release, accuracy, deep, like, incredible.
Unbelievable. But no one, the young voters, and you say you're not a voter now, and you're probably in the league of the 50s, I would assume. These young guys probably haven't ever watched him. Probably never saw a thing about him.
Well, he's in, so I don't know if it matters. Yeah, and I'm not a voter, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'd like to be a voter to help Mike get in. But, to me, again, like I said, the process to me, it's so political and it's
dirty.
I just don't like it, so I'm glad I'm not a part of it.
Adam, you've been to so many Super Bowls. I don't know if you can tangibly feel any difference from one to the other, but I am curious what the interest feels like in this Super Bowl and if it feels any different or not.
What the interest is? Like, you're talking about like in the city, or what are you talking about?
No, well, specifically, Dmac's got a theory that nobody cares about the Super Bowl. And
well, no, here's my hype. Everybody's going to watch the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl, okay? So the ratings will be great in that whole thing. There's just not as much zest, it feels like, Adam. And it's easy for us to say it sitting here in Denver, not New Orleans, because just the overall storylines are just not as compelling. Not that it wouldn't be interesting to see a three-peat champion, but this isn't like the Lions and the Bills, which would be unbelievable.
Right.
It's more just like, hey, man, the Eagles did win just a little while ago. They went back again. It's 3 times for Mahomes. It's just kind of like, The Hangover Part 3, the movie, or maybe what you're suffering on a Thursday afternoon. I don't know. But it just seems like it's just a little bland, and it's hard to connect with the Super Bowl during the week outside of the Super Bowl compared to other weeks. That's all.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I know that sentiment exists out there, but the fact of the matter is it still is a Super Bowl. It still is a team that is trying to do something that no football team ever has done, which is win 3 straight Super Bowls. We've never seen that happen before. We have Jordan Love walking into the room right now.
Jordan Love?
3 straight Super Bowls. Yeah.
Put him on.
We've got a team that's trying to upend the Chiefs' run here, that's trying to prove its own little thing, win a second Super Bowl. To me, I think that it's compelling, and it'll be compelling on Sunday. It may not be all that exciting leading up to it, but I think it'll be compelling.
Of course. All right, listen, we'll let you go. We love you. We'll actually have you on Monday, just Super Bowl travel, right? So we will have you
switching
on
times next week.
Right. You'll be on with the morning show on Thursday. You'll be on with us Monday after the Super Bowl. So we look forward to that. Adam, char grilled oysters to me are a New Orleans treat, and the best I've ever had there in New Orleans. I'm telling you, which I probably should shut up, but I'm just letting you know. They're good.
Well, guys, I enjoy the game, and
Yes.
I'll talk to you on Monday after it.
Enjoy your Alka-Seltzer.
Thank you, Adam Schefter.